Right. Imagine this. You're deep in the wilderness, miles from anywhere. The sun is setting, casting long, eerie shadows through the trees. Suddenly you feel it, that primal instinct. The hairs on the back of your neck stand up. You are being watched. You turn slowly and there it is. A pair of eyes glowing in the twilight, locked onto you. A predator, coiled and ready to pounce. Your heart hammers against your ribs, a drumbeat of pure adrenaline. Every instinct screams run, but in this moment your next move could be the difference between life and death. This isn't just a hypothetical scenario. This is the raw, terrifying reality that many people face when they venture into the wild. Today, we're not just talking about theory. We're diving into practical, life-saving techniques that have been tested in the most extreme situations. These aren't just tips from a textbook. They are lessons forged in fear and survival. The wild is beautiful, but it's also unforgiving. It demands respect, and it demands you be prepared for the worst-case scenario. When you're on its turf, you play by its rules. The skills I'm about to share with you are inspired by an incredible true story of survival, one that hasn't even happened yet. A harrowing encounter from the year 2025. A lone hiker, much like you or me, found themselves facing not one, but multiple predators in a single terrifying ordeal. Their story is a powerful testament to human resilience and the importance of knowing how to react when you become the prey. So stay with me, pay attention, because what you learn today might just save your life tomorrow. Let's get into it. When that predator's gaze locks onto you, your body is flooded with adrenaline. It's the fight or flight response, a primal instinct hardwired into our DNA. Your first enemy isn't the claws or the teeth. It's the panic surging through your own veins. Your mind screams, your vision narrows, and rational thought evaporates. In the 2025 encounter, the survivor told me their first reaction was sheer, unadulterated terror. They felt their legs turn to jelly, their breath catching in their throat. They were frozen, an easy target, but they fought that impulse. They knew that panic is a predator's best friend. It clouds your judgment and makes you predictable. You have to force yourself to breathe. In through the nose, out through the mouth. Slow, deliberate breaths. This isn't just calming, it's a biological hack. It sends a signal to your brain, telling it to override the panic and re-engage the prefrontal cortex, the part responsible for decision-making. Look at your surroundings. What do you have? What is the animal doing? Is it curious, defensive, or predatory? Assessing the situation is impossible when you're consumed by fear. You need to become the calm eye of the storm, a thinking human being, not just a terrified animal. This mental fortitude is your first and most critical line of defense. The survivor from that future ordeal managed to take that crucial breath. It allowed them to see the situation for what it was, a territorial mountain lion, more curious than aggressive at that initial moment. By controlling their internal chaos, they were able to start controlling the external one. They didn't scream or flail wildly, actions that could have triggered an immediate attack. Instead, they stood their ground, heart pounding, but mind clearing. That single moment of forced calm bought them precious seconds to think, to plan, and to survive. Remember, the beast in front of you is dangerous, but the panic inside you can be lethal. Right, you've controlled your panic. What's next? You need to change the predator's perception of you. In the wild, size matters. A lot. Most predators are looking for an easy meal, not a difficult fight that could result in injury. Your job is to convince them that you are not an easy meal. You need to make yourself look as large and intimidating as possible. Stand tall, puff out your chest. Don't crouch or cower, as that mimics the posture of prey. You need to project an aura of confidence, even if you're trembling inside. It's the ultimate bluff, and your life is the pot. This is exactly what the survivor did when faced with that mountain lion in 2025. They were wearing a large hiking jacket. Thinking fast, they slowly, deliberately unzipped it. Without taking their eyes off the cat, they held the jacket open wide, stretching it out like a massive pair of wings. They raised their arms, holding the jacket high and wide, effectively doubling their silhouette against the fading light. Suddenly, they weren't just a 5-foot-something human. They were a large, strange, and potentially dangerous creature that the mountain lion had never seen before. This visual disruption can confuse a predator and make it second-guess its attack. The effect was immediate. The mountain lion, which had been slinking forward in a low crouch, paused. It tilted its head, its predatory focus momentarily broken by this strange new shape. The hiker didn't just stand there passively. They made themselves a dynamic, imposing figure. This simple act of using their jacket transformed them from victim to threat in the animal's eyes. It was a calculated risk that paid off, causing the cougar to hesitate and eventually retreat back into the shadows. Never underestimate the power of illusion. In a survival situation, you use everything you've got, and sometimes your jacket is your best weapon. You've made yourself look big, but a silent giant can still seem vulnerable. The next layer of your defense is noise. Predators, especially ambush hunters, rely on stealth. Loud, unnatural sounds shatter that advantage and can be incredibly effective deterrents. You need to break the silence of the wilderness with your own cacophony. Yell, shout in a deep, firm voice. Don't scream in a high-pitched, panicked way, as that can sound like a wounded animal. You want your voice to be a weapon, a tool of intimidation. Project authority, command the space around you. The survivor's ordeal wasn't over with the mountain lion. Later, drawn by the commotion or just by chance, they encountered a young black bear. The look big strategy is still good, but with bears, noise is paramount. The hiker immediately began shouting commands. "Hey bear, get out of here, go on!" But they didn't stop there. While keeping their eyes on the bear, they crouched down slowly, never turning their back, and picked up 2 large rocks. They started banging them together, creating a loud, sharp clacking sound that echoed through the forest. This is a sound that no prey animal makes. It's alien, it's jarring, and it's something a bear's instincts will tell it to be wary of. This combination of a deep, commanding voice and the sharp, rhythmic clanging of the rocks created a perimeter of sound. It's an auditory fence that tells the animal, "This area is mine. I am loud, I am strange, and I am not afraid." The bear, which had been ambling closer with curiosity, stopped in its tracks. It stood on its hind legs to get a better look and smell, a sign of uncertainty, not aggression. The relentless noise made it uncomfortable. It was no longer a quiet, easy investigation. The hiker had made the situation difficult and unpredictable, and the bear, deciding it wasn't worth the trouble, eventually dropped to all fours and ambled away. The predators have hesitated. They're backing off. The temptation to turn and bolt for safety is almost overwhelming. This is one of the most dangerous moments, and giving in to that temptation can be a fatal mistake. Running triggers a deep-seated, hardwired predatory chase instinct in almost any carnivore. The moment you run, you reclassify yourself as prey. A fleeing target is an invitation for a chase, and let me tell you, you cannot outrun a bear, a wolf, or a mountain lion. Their brains are wired to chase down running animals, and your frantic sprint is the dinner bell. The correct strategy is a slow, calculated retreat. You must keep your eyes on the animal at all times. You need to see what it's doing, how it's reacting to your movements. You back away slowly, one step at a time, never making any sudden moves. Continue to look big, continue to make noise if you need to, but create distance methodically. This shows the animal that you are not a threat, but you are also not prey. You are simply leaving its territory. You are disengaging from the conflict on your own terms, maintaining a posture of confident control. Our survivor from 2025 understood this crucial rule. As the bear and the mountain lion, which was still lingering in the shadows, watched, they began to move away. They didn't just walk backwards, they moved sideways, almost like a crab, so they could watch the entire area while still moving away from the immediate threat. Every step was slow and deliberate. It was a nerve-wracking process, a slow-motion dance with death where one wrong step, one stumble, one moment of panic could have reignited the encounter. But their discipline held. By refusing to run, they refused to be hunted, and slowly but surely they put a life-saving distance between themselves and the predators. Sometimes, despite all your best efforts, looking big, making noise, backing away slowly, a predator decides to attack. This is the absolute last resort, the do-or-die moment. It usually happens if the animal is starving, protecting its young, or if it's a predatory attack rather than a defensive or curious one. At this point, the rules change. Passivity is no longer an option. Your survival now depends on your will to fight. You must convince the animal that you are the most dangerous thing it has ever tried to eat, and that tangling with you will come at a severe cost. As the hiker was backing away, a different threat emerged. A lone wolf, gaunt and desperate, had been stalking them. This animal was not deterred by the noise or the size. It was in full predatory mode. It charged. This is the moment the hiker knew the bluff was over. They had picked up a thick, sturdy branch during their retreat. As the wolf lunged, they didn't cower. They stood their ground and used the stick not as a baseball bat to be swung wildly, but as a short spear, a tool to keep the animal's teeth at a distance. They yelled, they kicked, they fought with everything they had. The goal when fighting back is not necessarily to kill the animal, but to inflict pain and show it that you are not easy prey. Aim for sensitive areas, the eyes, the nose, the gills if you're in water. Our survivor jabbed the stick towards the wolf's face, making contact with its snout. The wolf yelped, surprised by the fierce resistance and the sharp pain. The hiker didn't let up, continuing to shout and present a furious, aggressive front. The wolf, realizing this meal would come with serious injury, broke off the attack and retreated. It was a brutal, terrifying moment, but the hiker's decision to fight back, to become the aggressor, is the only reason they lived to tell the tale. The wilderness is an incredible place. It can test you, push you to your limits, and show you what you're truly made of. The story from 2025 is a stark reminder that preparation isn't just about packing the right gear, it's about packing the right mindset. Understanding how to stay calm, how to appear dominant, and when to fight for your life are not just abstract concepts. These are tangible skills that can mean the difference between becoming a statistic and walking out alive. These tips, forged in the crucible of a real encounter, could one day be the most important knowledge you possess. Think of these skills as a shield. You hope you never have to use it, but you'll be damn glad you have it if the moment comes. The wild doesn't play favorites. It treats everyone the same. Your survival depends on your knowledge and your will to live. Never stop learning, never stop preparing, and never ever give up. The most powerful tool you have is your own mind, and the courage to use it when everything else is stripped away. You have a survivor in you, you just have to be ready to let it out when it counts. Now I want to hear from you. The wild is full of unpredictable moments, and every encounter is a lesson. Have you ever had a close call with wildlife? A moment where your heart was in your throat? Share your stories and your own survival tips in the comments below. Your experience could help someone else in this community. Let's learn from each other. Stay prepared, stay aware, and stay alive.